If you are in Corning, if you are in Mercer or Prescott, you need to be in a safe place now. Even though this is a radar indicated tornado, there's enough to give us reason to believe that there could be a tornado here very soon. Lowest floor of your home or of your building, you want to put as many walls in between you and the outside as possible. This is the first tornado warning. Again, Corning, Brooks, and then we're looking at areas like Mercer up towards Prescott, and even over into Stringtown. Lenox, I also want you to be watching this. Even though this will probably pass to your north, it is a little too close for comfort. So anybody in Adams County right now should seek shelter. Brad's putting another track on it. It's moving about 40 miles per hour to the northeast. That's the storm itself. A 4:45 arrival time in Winterset. Should it hold together at this same strength and speed, which it, at this point, I believe it might. 5:12 in Waukee. Just before 5:30 in the city of Des Moines, and about 5:40 in Altoona, close to 6 p.m. in Colfax. So if this does not get interrupted and nothing really cuts off that inflow, that southerly flow, the moisture headed into this storm, we may be tracking this one for a couple more hours as it approaches the Des Moines metro. We are seeing this very heavy torrential rain that likely has some very large hail, but it's this area kind of on the southern fringe of the storm that we have to watch for that tornado potential, and that is a pretty robust signature on the velocity there. That bright color representing that there's some rotation there.
Yes, definitely. Just south of the Spalding area or near Spalding right now, heading toward the Zion area, and then heading into Macksburg and heading into Madison County very, very shortly.
So Macksburg, Highway 169, including Winterset, you need to be in that safe place south of the Harrison community. This is going to be the southwestern and western part of Madison County. Go ahead, get into shelter. We know moments from now a tornado warning will be issued. That's already been said and confirmed by the National Weather Service. We are going to see that tornado warning extended to include probably a large chunk of Madison County, just given the speed of this storm. So this is from Colby Martin. This was in the Orient area. You can see how large this hail is, and look at what it says. Lots of hail damage. This is the one I was reading. Windshield is toast. I don't know if that's his windshield or if it's somebody else's, but like Brad said, several insurance claims probably coming in Orient here very soon because of the large hail. There was another picture of what looked like maybe a school district vehicle there that had the back windshield completely shattered out. So if nothing else, if a tornado doesn't occur in your area, which we sure hope it doesn't, there's also this threat of very large hail. It's going to be this southern edge, I believe. Hopefully it doesn't go right through the heart of town, but we're talking, you know, South 4th Avenue. If you live over near Clark Tower Road, and then the street that you mentioned, Brad, 169 and 92, where they meet, this is going to pass just to the south of there. But it's very, very close to that intersection. So this south side of Winterset, it's being covered with rain right now, but that's where we likely have that tornado moving.
Gosh, and I was just looking at the trajectory. It might actually come into the city of Winterset right now.
Okay.
It really looks like it. Just looking at that, you can see it right here, guys. And again, I can show. Let me see if I can see it with the shear right now, if that pops it up. So that's pretty much it. It's moving northeast, so it's kind of a broad area, but in that blue is where the tornado is.
Here comes the new warning. We hear the sirens in West Des Moines. That includes now the city of Des Moines, Norwalk, the airport, Windsor Heights, Martinsdale, Cumming, St. Charles. This is a big warning. It's north of Indianola. It'll include Carlisle and even Pleasant Hill. This will go until 5:15. And now, if you are in the city of Des Moines, if you are by the airport, you're on the south side, you're on the west side of Des Moines, you're in Windsor Heights, you've got to be in shelter because this is a tornado moving in our direction. We don't necessarily know if there will be a tornado on the ground at that moment, but it is coming for the Des Moines metro. To have a tornado confirmed on the ground, we have had no reports that this has lifted. We know it caused considerable damage in Winterset, which we will be checking out later on, but this is right over Norwalk right now. It's headed right over the Des Moines International Airport. Not seeing a whole lot that is popping up here on the debris.
Not really, no.
Although you could kind of argue that right there on Highway 28, that
it could
little
be
blue
bit,
area.
And it kind of lines up. This is our velocity. You can see it there, and it's coming right into the Norwalk area. Again, it might lag a little bit behind, but it is definitely coming into the Norwalk area. The stronger velocities there down to the southwest of Norwalk.
Right here, where we have these bright reds and bright greens. And we know the radar's probably a moment or two behind just on the nature of how Doppler radar works. So I imagine it's right there in town, and it'll be approaching the Highway 5 area here very, very soon. So this is Southeast 14th Street right here. I'm trying to give you some perspective. If you live on the south side of Des Moines, south of I-235, anywhere between Windsor Heights and, say, Highway 65, we're talking communities that are near Easter Lake, near Southridge Mall, near Lincoln High School, near the Des Moines International Airport, of course, the Army Post Road area, communities near the Blank Park Zoo and Blank Park Golf Course. If you live in any of those areas that I've mentioned, this is headed in your direction. And Pleasant Hill, by the way, it's coming there too.
Firefighter confirms now, Brandon, that the tornado is on the ground in Norwalk.
Okay.
So there it is. It's on the ground in Norwalk, coming through Norwalk right now. Godspeed to everyone there. Dangerous situation. Stay in your safe place till the storm passes. It has already produced quite a bit of damage, and it's just a bad night.
It is, and we have to believe that it is probably producing some damage in Norwalk as well, because it did in Winterset, and we have that report from the fire department there. I cannot stress enough. I know it is a Saturday evening, and there are a lot of events going on around town. We've got girls' state basketball going on at Wells Fargo Arena. If you are listening to us and you are at a community event, I'm sorry, you got to pause the event. You've got to have shelter because this is extremely serious. Please, please, please heed this guidance. Do not be irresponsible and continue the event as if nothing's going on. 608 in Chariton, 626 in Williamson, 643 in Belinda, and 715 in the town or the community of Indiana. Brad, we've got video, I believe, of the tornado in the Norwalk area that comes from Jeremy Roth, and I'm over here looking at that video right now. See if we can get the outside. Yeah, I see it right here.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Well, I think there were multiple vortices, so
sure.
That's probably one of the vortices, and you can see it kind of dancing around. There may be multiple ones. That's
what it looks like.
Yeah, at one point we had a large wedge, and sometimes they break up into smaller pieces or vortices. So I think that's what we're seeing there.
And there was damage in Norwalk, so we will have a crew headed that way as well once it's clear. Maybe picking up speed, and it's approaching, I mean, it's in Colfax right now, and that is a more pronounced velocity signature. These white and bright red colors pairing with the green, that is a signature that screams out to us on velocity and shows us we've had an observed tornado. I still believe there's probably a tornado on the ground there.
It's either one large tornado or several vortices possible. So very dangerous situation. You folks in Colfax, anywhere around there and south of Colfax. It may pass just north of Prairie City, but be safe, especially on the north side of Prairie City. Seek shelter. Stay in your shelter until the storm passes here.
I have a feeling we'll be seeing damage photos and damage reports today, tonight, tomorrow. And into early next week, because we've also heard that there have been reports in Colfax, parts of Des Moines, south of Chariton, Norwalk, of course, and of course Winterset. So there's a lot of communities that have been affected. Yeah, that's going to be moving right to the south of Hayesville. This will stay south of Sigourney, but it is now crossing that line into Keokuk County, and again we'll stay, well, it probably will go right through Hayesville, or Hayesville, not a very large area, so it's going to be clipping that pretty closely. Hey, Doug Richardson, who is on the phone with us from the Norwalk Fire Department. Hey Doug, it's Brandon. Can you tell me what you've seen there in Norwalk and what's going on as far as the damage there in town?
Yeah, sure. We've seen quite a variety of structural damage, from residential structures to vehicles, all the way up to some large commercial structures. At this time, we have no report of any injuries. A lot of power lines down, a lot of trees down. We've stood up our unified command posts. We have partners from West Des Moines and the Iowa DOT, as well as Norwalk Public Works, assisting in this venture. So right now, we've just kind of made our initial primary searches, and we're at the point now where we're kind of regrouping and and going to go back out and do some secondary searches of the city.
Doug, so just to reiterate, there is a lot of damage, but you did say, again, at this point, no reports of any injuries.
Yeah, that is correct. Widespread damage, primarily to the south and southeastern parts of our city limits, but no injuries at this time.
Doug, I appreciate you joining us. It's so great to hear that there have been no injuries. I mean, of course, damage is awful, and it's a big pain, but I'm glad that nobody has been hurt, at least that we know of yet. Doug Richardson, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
I imagine, Doug, we'll be talking with you over the next couple of days.
Absolutely. Thank you.